Hello there everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's Amiibo here, and today we have another pickups video for you. This might be the most variety I've ever had in a pickups video, actually. We have DS, 3DS, PS2, PS3, PS4, some Wii stuff, a lot of thrifted games, some Switch stuff, of course, as well as my Christmas gifts this year. Olivia and I got a little impatient, and we decided to share each other's gifts a little early, and she got me what is absolutely a 3DS Holy Grail, something that has been missing from my 3DS collection for a very, very long time. So we're going to be showing all of that today. Of course, if you are new here and you enjoy collecting content, Nintendo collecting, PlayStation collecting, I would appreciate if you subscribed. Let's get into it. Okay, so starting off, I'm going to go over the new releases for the month of December that I picked up, which is really just one game. I did end up buying it on 2 platforms because I love the game and I want to have it on both places. So I did a review of this game, Fantasian Neo Dimension, of course. This is the creator of Final Fantasy and the composer of Final Fantasy teaming up again for one more game. And this released on Apple Arcade a couple of years ago. Picked it up on Switch. Now, I did a review of this game. Square Enix did send me a PS5 review code. Shout out to them. Thank you to them for that. But I bought it on Switch, and I was like, you know what? I love this game, and I want to have it on PS5 as I've been getting more into PlayStation collecting. I probably could have waited for a sale, but I had some VGP bucks, and I was like, you know what? I'll go ahead and pick it up on both platforms. If you have not checked out Fantasian and you like classic JRPGs, I highly recommend that you check these games out, or this game out, I should say. I believe it's still on Apple Arcade. I'm pretty sure, so if you have the Apple Arcade Pass or whatever it's called, you can just check it out there, or you can get it on console. This version has like voice acting and stuff, a lot of improvements, and yeah, totally recommend it, at least checking these games out. They did release a demo after I posted my review. I wish that had happened before so I could say like, hey, check out the demo, but there is a demo now, and your progress does carry over to the full game, so highly recommend you check out Fantasian Neo Dimension. And that's actually it in terms of new games. Now, there's plenty of old stuff to get into. I was thinking about getting Black Myth Wukong. I saw Amazon had it, I think, for $45 already. However, I know myself, and I know I will not be playing Black Myth Wukong anytime soon, so that's a game I imagine will probably get quite a bit cheaper. And so, you know, I'm still playing through Silent Hill 2. I'm checking out all these fighting games, as we'll talk about. So yeah, I decided to wait on Black Myth Wukong. I did pick up another newer PS5 game, though, as we'll talk about throughout this video. Last time I was talking about Dynasty Warriors. We still have more Dynasty Warriors to talk about in this video, but since then I have developed a new interest in fighting games. I have a special interest in fighting games now. I'm hyper fixating on fighting games, and I've just been, you know, kind of taste testing a bunch of different things. And with that, I decided to pick up a release from January. This was on sale, I think, for $30. I ended up picking up Tekken 8 here for the PS5. My light is really blowing it out, but yeah, Tekken 8 on the PS5. Played through the story mode, really enjoyed it. I suck at fighting games. Every, like, once in a while, I'll go through this phase where I'm like, I want to really get good at fighting games. And I'll pick a game, and I'll play it a lot, right? And I'll get, like, decent at it. That's probably going to happen with Tekken here, where, you know, I'll play it for a couple of weeks, and then I'll get sufficiently decent at it. I'm not going to be, you know, be playing ranked or anything, but, like, I'll be getting wins on Quick Match right online. But then I stopped playing fighting games completely, and I have to, like, relearn it all. Like, when Street Fighter 6 came out, I was doing pretty good on Street Fighter 6 online, even though I say I suck at fighting games, even playing ranked in that game. But then I haven't played a fighting game since then, really. And yeah, it's been rough. But Tekken 8, learning curve, first time really playing a full Tekken game. I've messed around in the past. I've played Tekken 3D Prime on the 3DS. It was at PAX West this year. They had like the console free play area. Someone had a TV set up with Tekken 8 and some fight sticks. That was my first time ever really using a fight stick. You know, I've played fighting games in arcades before, but to actually use a fight stick on like a console game was a new experience, and I really enjoyed it there. So I decided to pick up Tekken 8. Best Buy had this. They also included this this pre-order bonus, I guess. It's like a little metal plaque thing. I don't know. It's neat. But yeah, enjoying Tekken. Like I said, played through the story mode already. It's only like 3 or 4 hours, not even that long probably. And then kind of going through all the character stories. It's been a lot of fun. World of Tekken, very cool. Not very familiar with the lore and stuff. Obviously, I know a little bit, especially because of Smash Bros. But some crazy lore to Tekken. And yeah, I've been enjoying that. And like I said, as we'll get to, been just hyper fixating on fighting games, as I have a little experience with a lot of fighting games. One game I don't have here, although it just went up for pre-order at limited run. I think I might pick up the physical. It was on PS Plus, and I'll talk about it in the games I played this month video, but been playing some Virtua Fighter 5, and that's been a lot of fun. So definitely big on fighting games. I'll have more to say on that in just a few minutes here. Next up, decided to pick up this for me and Olivia to play through at the Game Awards. Hazelight, the developers of It Takes Two, announced their new game, Split Fiction, which just looks absolutely incredible. I had never played this game, though. This is what they released before It Takes Two, this game called A Way Out. It's basically like a prison break game where you play as, I don't know if they're brothers or what, maybe they're just buddies in prison or whatever, and it's a co-op game in the style of It Takes Two, and you work together to break out of a prison, and this looks like a lot of fun. I love Hazelight. I love It Takes Two, obviously. Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, I played a long time ago before this developer was even on the map, and now they have Split Fiction coming out, so we're definitely going to be playing through this one before the new game comes out, and this one's actually kind of hard to find. I got very lucky in that my GameStop had it for, you know, like I think it was like 25 bucks maybe. If you go on eBay, it's not like the most expensive game in the world, but it is a little bit more rare, I would say, you know, for what it is. A lot of PS4 stuff is like, you know, worthless. So happy to get this before. I bought this before Split Fiction was announced because it was rumored it would be announced, and I was like, you know what, I want to play through Joseph Fares' other game before Split Fiction. So happy to have that. Although I will say there's a lot of sticky residue on the back, so I need to clean this up a little bit. Next up, similarly to A Way Out, these two games had sequels announced at the Game Awards, and I immediately snagged up some copies on eBay because I want to play them on PlayStation 4, and I want to have them on PS4. Kind of on top of being in like a fighting game kick, I guess I'm also in like a little bit of a Capcom era right now, as well as Koei Tecmo, but it's funny, I actually recorded a video about these two games specifically and how you should not pay exorbitant prices for them because they were skyrocketing in price, and then VGP announced a reprint, so I might have another video tomorrow kind of just talking about that, as like, it's a lesson to be learned for a lot of people, I think, as there were copies of this game selling for like $100 yesterday, as of when I'm recording this, but they've already, you know, come plummeting down. We picked up Okami on the PlayStation 4 here. I have this game on PS2 and Wii, but I did not have it on PS4, so I wanted to get this, and I'll be playing through this very soon, as they just announced Okami is getting a proper sequel. This one was going for like $300 for a second there. I don't know if there were any solds that high, but it was selling for at least over 100, and all the copies listed were super high. You can get a Japanese copy for very cheap, but this ESRB version, which to be honest, I didn't even know existed until last week, this was fetching a very high price. Now, I did not pay that. I got it before it spiked. As soon as it was announced at the Game Awards, I knew, like, okay, well, I should probably buy these before they get expensive. I wasn't expecting a reprint so soon. I guess I could have waited a little bit because VGP has them for like 20 bucks, but yeah, happy to get Okami here on the PS4. This is where I'll be playing this game for the first time in the coming months in 2025. But on that same vein, Onimusha had a sequel announced, so I picked up Onimusha Warlords on the PS4. I already own this game on Switch, but I wanted to get it on PS4. I think I'll replay it and replay all of them as we move closer to 2026 with the new game releasing. I loved playing it for the first time on Switch back in 2019, and happy to have it physically on the PS4. I think next pickups video, I'll show all these. I did basically buy every Onimusha game because I want to play through all of them. I didn't have most of them on PS2, but I did also pick up this one. I doubt would get a reprint, so I snagged it up before it goes up even more. Maybe it won't, I don't know, but I've never played this, obviously, because I haven't played Okami. I got a copy of Okamiden for the Nintendo DS. This game always looks super cute to me. I did not realize this came out, I believe in America, this came out after the 3DS. It was a pretty late DS game, 2010 in Japan, I'm pretty sure, but this is a sequel to Okami, so it's funny that we're getting an Okami sequel. I guess it's more of like a spiritual sequel. I mean, it is Okami, right? It's Okamiden, but it's not Amaterasu. I believe it's Amaterasu's baby that you're playing with in the game. But I've heard great things about this game, and I'm excited to play both Okami and Okamiden before the new one releases in 2030 or whatever Kamiya manages to cook that sequel up. Next up, we have quite a few games that we thrifted over the past couple of weeks. Some lesser titles that are not as great of shape, but also some very high quality PS4 games that I think has really helped propel my interest in fighting games over the past couple of weeks. So we'll go over the lesser stuff, I guess, first. This is only lesser because the case is like destroyed. I need to find a replacement case. I did not have this game on the Wii. I believe this is an on-rail shooter, but it's Resident Evil: The Umbrella Chronicles for the Wii here. I don't know what happened to this case, man. Look at this. It's not like you can shut it. It's shut right now. But yeah, it's like warped or something. But we found this at Goodwill Outlets, and yeah, super happy to add this to the collection. Like I said, need to find a replacement case. I don't know if this game is good. It's an on-rail shooter for Wii. Probably not, to be completely honest. Another Wii game here is Elebits from Konami. I remember seeing this game at like at like GameStop when I was younger and being like, oh, I want to play Elebits. I'm not really sure what this game exactly is. It says Elebits are small, cute electricity generating creatures. One day a sudden lightning storm strikes and the Elebits begin to act strangely and go into hiding. It's up to you and your trusty capture gun to search anywhere and everywhere to capture them all. Almost sounds like Dempamon, to be completely honest. That's what I'm getting from this. Obviously, it's not AR based, but I assume you're using your Wiimote to zap up the Elebits, and like there's like a picture of a kid's room on the back of this. So I thought this looked super cute, and for Goodwill prices, yeah, I was gonna snag this, even though, I mean, this isn't like an expensive game on eBay or anything. Here's a fun one. We rarely find GameCube stuff, but if I do find GameCube stuff for cheap, I'm gonna buy it. This game goes for like $8 on eBay, but I'm not gonna leave it, especially because it's so clean. We got Bratz Forever Diamonds. But this is like a super clean GameCube game. Usually when we find GameCube stuff, the cases are all grody and all that. But this one's really clean. It is missing the, it's supposed to come with like a doll outfit or something. It is missing that, unfortunately. As you can see, there's a sticker there saying bonus Bratz doll outfit inside. That is not in there. But yeah, this was a super clean GameCube game, so obviously not going to leave that. That was at the Goodwill bin, so that was like 50 cents or something like that. Same thing with this. Another clean game I did not have is Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy for GameCube. I had this game on PS2 growing up, but still cool to have it on the GameCube here. Very clean copy indeed. Also complete as well. So super cool. Happy to add two pretty cheap but nice quality, clean games, I should say, to the GameCube collection, because I really don't build GameCube too much these days, because GameCube, first party anyway, is expensive. And I'm not trying to do that right now. I'm not fixated on the GameCube as it stands. I mean, I did get quite a few games over the summer, F-Zero GX, a couple other things, but yeah, not super in my GameCube era as it stands right now. And then final couple cheaper things. We found this copy of The Walking Dead Season 1 from Telltale on PS3. I played these games on PS4. I don't actually have them physically on PS4, and they're not physically on Switch, so I guess this is my only physical copy of the Walking Dead Telltale games, or at least Season 1 anyway. Season 1, I think I like Season 2 more. Like, I gotta be honest, I know that's probably a hot take, but I actually really enjoyed Season 2 of The Walking Dead. But Season 1 is iconic, obviously. You got Lee in there, you got Clem. Season 2, of course, also has Clem. But yeah, Season 1 of The Walking Dead. I love The Walking Dead. I talk about The Walking Dead a lot, I'm sure, on the channel and whenever I can, I will talk about The Walking Dead. There is a physical of the final season on Switch, which is that's infuriating, quite frankly, that only the final season has like a physical on Switch. But yeah, The Walking Dead is one of my favorite things ever. I love the show, even like all the spinoffs that are still going, even though I know it's ridiculous. It's like a comfort food kind of thing, man. I've been watching The Walking Dead since I was like 12, and The Walking Dead has been in my life for more than half of my life now, which is insane to think about. So yeah, definitely a big fan of that, and the Telltale games are pretty solid, even though they definitely have that Telltale stink to them, which is you know what I mean. You know what I mean. The Telltale games kind of have a stank to them. Random PSVR game here, Farpoint. This is one I actually really wanted to play back when the PSVR was coming out, but I never picked it up. I do have the controller. I bought the controller bundle with, oh god, what's that game called? It's like the tactical FPS. I can't remember it. It got a sequel. It's Fire Team, not Ghost Recon. It's Fire. Is it just called Firewall Zero, Ultra Zero, or something like that. It's the tactical FPS on PSVR. I bought that from GameStop like 4 years ago because they had it with the PSVR aim controller, I think for 20 or 30 bucks. And I was like, you know what, I'll buy that. When I bought it, by that point, I think it was like 2020, the game was completely dead online. I couldn't find matches, which was super annoying, so that was almost a waste of money. But the reason I mentioned that is because I believe Farpoint, I don't know if it requires the aim controller, but it does use the aim controller, and yeah, happy to add this. I know there's like scary spiders in this, so if you have arachnophobia, maybe don't play Farpoint, but this is one I wanted to play back when the PSVR was announced almost a decade ago. And then also random PS2 game here. Shout out to Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. Found this at the Goodwill bins. Not much to say on it. I don't really know. I mean, I guess I'm not familiar with my Monkey Ball release order. Did it release on GameCube first and then get ported to PS2? That's probably what we're looking at here. So this has some new stages and a challenge mode as well. Neat. But those are the mid games we thrifted, so to speak, the lesser titles. We found a really, really nice stack of PS4 stuff, including a sealed game, so wanted to get into these. This is the first time we've ever found a limited run game thrifting. But yeah, we found a limited run game while we were out. We found the Art of Fighting Anthology. I've not had a chance to play this yet. These are some SNK, I think, Neo Geo games. It includes Art of Fighting 1, 2, and 3. I don't know anything about Art of Fighting, I'm going to be honest. I don't think I'd ever even heard of the franchise, but it worked out perfectly because at this point I was already like in my fighting game era, right? Like I think I'd already bought Tekken at that point, and then we found these while we were out, and I was like, yeah, awesome, sure. So yeah, Art of Fighting Anthology. This is a pretty expensive PS4 game because it was a limited run game, and it's got me learning more about SNK fighting games as well because, I mean, I'm trying to think. I don't really think I have any experience with SNK stuff. I've never played a Fatal Fury game. I think I've played a little bit of King of Fighters in the past, maybe. I think through like the arcade archives on Switch, but I have not played any other more modern stuff. And to be fair, Art of Fighting isn't more modern. But yeah, this was super cool to find out in the wild, so I had to pick up that, as well as 2 Dead or Alive games. Starting off here, we have Dead or Alive 5 Last Round. You can still see the sticker was on there. This was a PS3 game that came to PS4, I believe, and I remember hearing, I thought this was a free-to-play game, and I think it might have been at one point, or maybe there is a free-to-play version, because I was looking on PSN. This game has like $500 of DLC. It is absolutely unbelievable how much DLC it has. I have not put that one in yet, but I did put in this and play through a little bit of this. Dead or Alive 6, once again, Its-A-Mii. Kind of going through, I'm going through this fighting phase, but also I was huge on Dynasty Warriors, so there's a bit of a link there with Its-A-Mii. This game, I know people are down on Dead or Alive 6, but I gotta be honest, I was enjoying it as a casual fighting game guy. As somebody who's not serious into this. I know people say there's like more serious issues with like maybe the balancing. I'm not really sure. I know it has mid reviews on Metacritic though, and I know the community was not super big on Dead or Alive 6. But as someone just jumping in, having fun, I was kind of enjoying it. Maybe I was enjoying it for the wrong reasons, But I genuinely felt the game felt good to play, even after playing Tekken 8. So I'm not sure what the exact reason people don't like Dead or Alive 6 is. Maybe it is all that DLC because it also has a massive amount of DLC. But yeah, I was having fun with that DOA 6. I have a little bit of Dead or Alive experience. I played Dimensions on 3DS. That was actually my first Dead or Alive game back in 2011, and I had fun with that. But not much more experience than that. So it's been a long time since I played a Dead or Alive game, and it's been fun going through those. But also we had a copy here. This is probably the least exciting thing we found. No Man's Sky. I actually did not have this on PS4. I have it on Switch, but I did not have it on PS4, and I was like, you know what? That's cool. I don't know if there was a free PS5 upgrade or what. There is a PS5 physical version that has a lot of that content there, but everything for No Man's Sky has been free, so I think this PS4 disc would get me all of the new content. The reality is I'll probably never play No Man's Sky again, to be honest. I put 20 hours into it when it came out. Played a little bit of the Switch version. I think I've had my fill of No Man's Sky, but to find it at that one was at Goodwill Bin. So, once again, 50 cents. Can't really pass up that. And then here's a sealed copy of Shadow of the Colossus. This was crazy to find. Yeah, sealed copy of Shadow of the Colossus remake on PS4. I did not have this game. I do have it on PS2, but love Shadow of the Colossus. One of my favorite games. I actually have not played the remake. I do like Eco more. I know that's a hot take. I do really love Eco more. But Shadow of the Colossus, I get it. I totally get why Shadow of the Colossus is the fan favorite from Gen Design and Fumito Ueda. But yeah, cool to get that. And that's one I need to go back and finish up Last Guardian because I was trying to think about it after they announced the new game. I don't think I actually ever finished playing through Last Guardian. I definitely have seen the ending. I know I've seen the ending of that game, but I don't think I ever actually finished it myself, so I need to go back and finish that. And then also, I'm going to play this remake at some point, because it's probably been 8 to 10 years since I played Shadow of the Colossus and Ego for the first time, so I'll play through this remake at some point. And then a final thing here we found is Secret of Mana on the PS4. Very cool indeed. This one actually wasn't at a thrift store. This was at a GameStop, but yeah, happy to find this one. I think it was $15, and this is the remake that apparently is not very good. It irritates me that this is not on Switch, because we have the Trials of Mana remake, we have the Collection of Mana, we have Legend of Mana, we have all these Mana games on Switch. For some reason, this game came to PS Vita. But it didn't come to Switch. I know it came out in 2016, and to be fair, the reviews for it were not the highest. But the fact that this didn't come to Switch is still irritating to me 10 years later, or 8 years later, something like that. I have played a little bit of this because I think it was on PS Plus at some point, through their premium catalog. I've messed around with it. I've actually never played Secret of Mana. I played through Final Fantasy Adventure through the Collection of Mana back in 2019. So I played one of these games, and I really enjoyed it. So Secret of Mana would be next. Is it Mana or Mana? I feel like I've been swapping between Mana and Mana for the past 30 seconds. I actually don't know what the correct pronunciation is. I think it's Mana, Secret of Mana. But sometimes Mana sounds better. Either way, very cool stack of PS4 games to find, especially as I've been on my PlayStation kick, especially as I've been on a fighting game kick. This was a nice little haul right here, I gotta say. Oh, also, one last thing for the fighting games. I bought this on Switch last month. I showed it on Switch. It was on sale for $35 at Amazon and Best Buy, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to play this on PS4. Picked up the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection on PS4. I've been messing around with some of these games, and I actually opened this copy. My Switch copy is still sealed. This one has, like, it has a little comic book in there, which is really funny. But yeah, for $35, I was like, you know what? I want to have this on PS4. I'm going to play this game on PS4. Trophy support, that kind of thing. I believe... I'm not sure if there's crossplay, but either way, I have friends that are playing it on PS4. So it just worked out. I'd rather have it on PS4, to be honest, especially since I'm playing all these other fighting games on my PS5. It just kind of made sense to have this over here. Next up, let's talk Dynasty Warriors. So I mentioned in the last pickups video that I've been on a huge Dynasty Warriors kick. Excited for Dynasty Warriors Origins. Been going back and just kind of experimenting with every Dynasty Warriors game, basically. So I've played a couple of these. I've not played all of these. The beauty of Dynasty Warriors, as someone who loves having a nice lineup on a shelf as a game collector, the beauty of Dynasty Warriors is that all of these games are extremely cheap. Warriors Orochi gets a little bit more expensive. There's some more expensive Samurai Warriors games, but the Dynasty Warriors games are all very cheap because there's so many of them, right? So I picked up the PS1 first game last time, which was a fighting game, which I realize is probably the reason I'm on such a fighting game kick, is because I was playing that. I also picked up Dynasty Warriors 2. I believe I showed that, as well as Dynasty Warriors 4 Empires. Dynasty Warriors 2 and 4 Empires are like $10 games, so very cheap. But here we have a copy of Dynasty Warriors 3, as well as a copy of Dynasty Warriors 3 Extreme Legends. I was messing around with this, having fun with this. These games are rough to go back to, absolutely. Like, I was playing through Dynasty Warriors 2, and man, I mean, it looks like a PS2 launch game, no doubt about it, but it's still really cool to just go back and see where the franchise was. For those that enjoy listening to me ramble, here's a tangent on Dynasty Warriors. So, if you're not familiar, they usually have the base game, right? They'll have your base Dynasty Warriors 3, but then there will be a Dynasty Warriors Extreme Legends like a year later, an Extreme Legends variant, which basically just has new difficulty modes, more characters, more maps, that kind of thing. Reading the back of this one specifically, it says, discover 5th weapons and new items. So characters will have 4 weapons in the base game. In the XL version, they'll have a 5th version, 4 new challenge modes, new very hard difficulty level, as well as a challenge mode ranking system. So these kind of work as actual expansions, where if you load into it, you can like put in your base game disc and experience all the content through the XL version. Very interesting. But then there's also Empires version, starting with 4. Empires adds a little bit more of that strategy element from the Romance of the Three Kingdoms games. So I have one of those here as well. So here is Dynasty Warriors 4 Extreme Legends. I do not have the base game for Dynasty Warriors 4 yet, although I think that's coming in the mail from VGP, actually. They had it brand new. So we have 4 XL, as well as 5 Empires. This is an interesting one because I could have gotten it on Xbox 360. There is not an English PS3 release, although it did come to PS3 in Japan, which is annoying. There's a lot of weird regional issues with these games where a lot of them came to PS3 in Japan but not in America, and then a lot of them came to Xbox 360 in America, but I'm not going to buy them on 360. I don't even have an Xbox hooked up anymore. But yeah, Dynasty Warriors 5 Empires, as well as Dynasty Warriors 5 Extreme Legends here. And these are all very clean copies. Normally, like, this is the first time I've ever, like, gone back out of my way to buy PlayStation 2 stuff. Like, that's rare for me. Normally, most of my PS2 stuff has been from Goodwill and thrifting, that kind of thing. And usually those games are a little icky, right? They have a little bit of a gunk to them. So I've been trying to make sure I get, like, really clean copies. I mean, you know, they're not perfect, but it doesn't feel grimy. Like, when I touch it, it does not feel grimy. So I've been trying to specifically do that. So I might pay up a little bit compared to what the actual going rate is, but just to have the peace of mind of like, okay, this is a clean copy is nice. So that's it for Dynasty Warriors for this video. However, I'm still on that kick. I probably will have more next time because like I said, I mean, these games are really cheap and it's just fun to like pop them in, even if I'm not going to play through the entire thing, just for a couple hours, messing around, kind of seeing the evolution of the franchise has been a lot of fun. I did also pick up some PS3 ones, but like I said, those will be in another video. Final PS2 game for today. Similarly, launch titles, PS2, Dynasty Warriors. This is a game I did not really know much about. I think I remember Donkey making a joke video about this or something, but we have Kessen, which is a PS2 game. This is not really Dynasty Warriors at all. This is a strategy game, but this was like $5, and I was like, you know what? Going for all these PS2 games, going for the Koei games and Dynasty Warriors, kind of a similar vein. Picked up that as well. Next up, I had a pretty big VGP order arrive. I'm going to be honest, I made that video being like Black Friday round 2. Here's all the VGP stuff. I did have one more VGP order that escaped from Black Friday, so these were all pretty cheap on sale. So first up, it's mostly Switch stuff. First up, though, we have Silent Hill HD Collection on PS3. This was like $15. I don't know if Silent Hill 3 Remake is going to happen. I think there was a rumor about it a couple of days ago from Bloober Team. I would like to see that, and if that's the case, I will probably end up waiting, but we're playing through Silent Hill 2 Remake right now, really enjoying it, really intense game. I don't do well with horror games, but I really enjoy them when I'm like into them. I gotta play in like 45-minute to an hour increments though, because I get a little stressed out, I gotta be honest. But yeah, you know, playing through Silent Hill 2 Remake, I saw this was on sale there last Black Friday, and I was like, you know what? Cool, I'll pick up that. And then a bunch of Switch stuff, an entire series of Switch games that I decided to pick up here. So first up here is 2 collections. We have the Cosmic Fantasy Collection. I saw the Happy Console Gamer talking about this in a video. These are some very classic RPGs from back in the day, and they did this. This was a limited run release, but VGP stocked it. They did just put out for pre-order Cosmic Fantasy Collection 2. I'm not sure if I'll pre-order that. I'll probably test out these first, but I thought these looked cool. It's from Edia, who do, or Edia. They did the Valis collections. I really enjoyed playing through those games, as well as I think the Telenet shooting collection. So I guess I just enjoyed their like aesthetic and their games and that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with the developers and the publishers here. I'm not sure if they did them originally or if they're just coming back to do them now. Maybe they got the rights to them. I'm not too sure the lineage there, but they definitely all have a very similar like 80s anime style to them that I quite appreciate. This one I picked up here, the Double Dragon Collection. This one I almost missed. Like I almost did not realize this was even getting a collection. In fact, now that I think about this, I might have shown this in a video before, because this was from another VGP order. But yeah, this one includes Super Double Dragon Advance, Double Dragon again, Double Dragon 2, the Ravin, Double Dragon 3, the Sacred Stones, and Double Dragon 4. I've actually played Double Dragon 3, the Sacred Stones, because it was on Wii U Virtual Console. Double Dragon is a series I'm not like in love with it, I gotta be honest, but I already have a lot of the other games on Switch, and I saw this collection, and I was like, you know, I love me a good collection of like classic games, and the games are fun, so wanted that to pop that in and just kind of mess around with. And then this was the actual like new order from Black Friday. Those were well, Silent Hill was with the new order. This Double Dragon and the Cosmic Fantasy were before. This one I was excited to see. It was on sale. There was basically just a big PM Studios sale for Switch games. This was, I believe, a Switch launch game that I actually really enjoyed playing back in the day, back when the eShop was not a complete, you know, cesspool of random garbage, AI slop garbage. This is one that I had quite a bit of fun playing. It's a rhythm game called Voez here. Very anime art style. I don't know why my camera's like really blowing things out here, but yeah, I believe it's pronounced Voez. This is a rhythm game or a music game, and it's basically just a bunch of like really like anime songs, like Japanese songs. But I don't know, I really had a lot of fun playing this back when it released back on the Switch back in like 2017, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't realize it had a physical copy until a little bit more recently. But yeah, happy to pick up this one. And then like I said, an entire series of games here, because I believe this series started on the 3DS and they had them on sale for like $20 a piece, and I was like, you know what, I wanted to try out those. So first up here we have the Mercenary Saga Chronicles. This is, I believe, a trilogy of games that were on 3DS. These are like tactics, Fire Emblem style RPGs. So we have Mercenary Saga Chronicles from PM Studios, as well as, I don't know the exact order here, Mercenaries Rebirth, A Call of the Wild Lynx, Mercenaries Wings, The False Phoenix, and then I want to say this is the most recent one. We have Mercenaries Lament, Requiem of the Silver Wolf. Now, the reality is, I've heard these games are not like the greatest, like they're kind of mid tactical RPGs, but honestly, there aren't that many tactical RPGs, at least not on Switch, that are like higher quality in my opinion. From what I've seen, right? You have this guy, you have your Fire Emblem, you have your Tactics Ogre. There's not like just an influx of these games, to be honest. At least from what I've seen, I'm sure there's more indie stuff out there. But this is an entire series I've been interested in since the 3DS era, and they were on sale there, so I decided to pick those up. And then also a release from October. I got a lot of people recommending this to me in the comments because I talked about it in the October releases video, and it was getting rare, and people were like saying, oh, you should buy that, you should check it out. Looks very high quality. Had really good reviews, and that is Witch Spring R. I wasn't too familiar with this one until I was doing that video. I think there is another Witch Spring game on Switch that has a physical, but this is a pretty high quality looking kind of chill RPG that I wanted to check out. Story driven RPG with a nice bit of like cooking and crafting and that kind of stuff that it looked pretty high quality, so I decided to pick up that. And that's it for Switch for this video. That was a lot, though. That was a lot of PM Studio stuff, and it's nice to have that entire chunk of Mercenary stuff just in there, right? Like, it's all done. I have all of them now, so I can check out all of those. I mean, that's... The reality is, like, how soon will I play some of those later ones? Like, I'll check out the first game soon, probably, but, like, that's a lot of games. I mean, that's a lot of tactical RPGs. That's, like, probably over 100 hours easily of games. Oh, actually, these also came from VGP. I might as well show these real quick. I forgot to in November, but we had the Trine Ultimate Collection here. The Ultimate Collection Physical Edition. This was the reprint they did that includes Trines 1 through 4. So was very happy to get this as well as Trine 5. I love Trine. I've not played Trine 5 yet, or actually Trine 4 either, but I've played Trine 1 through 3, and was happy that these got a reprint, and then Trine 5 came out, I think, earlier this year, maybe last year. So happy to add these to the collection. Wrapping up here, though, I have 2 DS games that I'm gonna be honest, I bought these in like the summer, like in like July. Like, I've had these sitting on the shelf. You've probably seen them behind me for a long time, but I just never showed them in a pickups video. So we have these 2 DS games, and then the final 3DS stuff that Olivia got me for Christmas. Starting off here, I saw a really good price for this, and I was like, you know what, I'll check it out. GTA Chinatown Wars, getting into that GTA hype cycle here. I've always heard very, very good things about Chinatown Wars. I remember reading about it in Nintendo Power as a kid, and I've always wanted to check it out. It was so cool to me that in an era of like GTA 4, right, and GTA 3 was coming out, or GTA 5, I should say, sorry. In that era, where GTA was like this cutting-edge, you know, series, Rockstar was still doing weird stuff, and this is, of course, a top-down GTA game. So yeah, happy to add this to the DS collection. I think it is also on PSP, if I'm not mistaken, but I've always viewed this as a DS game. This is a DS game to me, and it does have... Is there a map in this? I know GTA games are known for their maps. I don't think it comes with a map. But it does have the other manual in there, which is super cool. So happy to add that. And then as well as this is a Club Nintendo game that I picked up. This is the Game & Watch collection. So it's just a collection of Game & Watch games. There is a Game & Watch collection too that is way more pricey, but I snagged this for a good deal. I mean, it's just Game & Watch stuff, but, you know, my ultimate goal, like I've said in videos in the past, is to have, like, every Nintendo published game, because I love Nintendo. I love their history of publishing games, and this is a weird one, because it was exclusive to Club Nintendo members, which is really odd that they did that. I mean, it even says Club Nintendo, not for resale, on the back here, which is just neat. Weird piece of Nintendo history. And then finally, we have 2 3DS games that Olivia got me for Christmas this year. I've not been on as much of a 3DS kick as I have in the past, but I think that's why she decided to get me these, because, like, obviously she knows I want these, but it wasn't something I was going to impulse buy, like, under her nose, like, while I'm, you know, leading up to Christmas. I'm not going to buy these, so she didn't have to worry about that, because I haven't been on as big of a 3DS kick recently, but they are games she knows I wanted, and I do really want, but they were a little... I don't know. I was like, I don't know if I really want to, like, drop the money on these right now. So super happy to get them as gifts, and they're really 2 of the major final first-party 3DS games I was missing. There's still a couple other random things like Style Savvy, and I mean, not published by Nintendo, but I don't have the Project Crosszone games. But for the most part, my 3DS collection, basically done. However, she got me for Christmas Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn. I had shown... We got a case for this a long time ago, and I ended up selling that, but here is a complete copy. This is the final game Nintendo published for the 3DS. I have played this game on the 3DS with the little, like, devil mode they added or whatever. I mean, I would say just play this on Wii, but this one is cool because, like I said, it is the final 3DS game that Nintendo published, and it's just... I mean, it came out in 2019. We're getting 3DS games in 2019. That's so crazy. But yeah, this one's pretty hard to find, and super happy to have this, because now I have every Kirby game on the 3DS. But the Holy Grail, the thing that I was completely surprised to see for Christmas this year from her, was I've been wanting to get this for a while, but it's been a thing of, like, finding a good one in like, solid condition, because most people throw away the big box. It is a big box first-party game, similar to Epic Yarn, the same developer, Good Feel. We have the big box for Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World with the Poochie amiibo. This, I would say, aside from maybe missing Red Cat Core, the Yokai Watch Blasters game, is like the final 3DS Holy Grail I really have in terms of things I truly, truly want. So to get this year for Christmas was just awesome. And I mean, it's in like an immaculate condition. It's in very good shape. A lot of the boxes you see on eBay are not. They're not in good shape. But this one is very clean. And yeah, I mean, this is probably the coolest 3DS game I have now, next to Fire Emblem Fates Special Edition, maybe. This is an expensive game. So I was very happy to get this for Christmas. Fun fact, so the box itself is not sealed. However, The amiibo, of course, is sealed, and the game itself is sealed. And I didn't have the base game either. So happy to get both of these. It's weird to think that Goodfeel ported both of these games after the Switch came out, or I guess this one was like a month before the Switch came out. But also, I've always wanted the Pushy amiibo because I have the other Yarn Yoshis and I love them. I don't have the Mega Yarn Yoshi. That one eludes me. But yeah, Pushy amiibo is probably like a top 10 amiibo, honestly. I mean, this is an incredible amiibo. So huge shout out to Olivia. Huge thank you to Olivia. I love you, Olivia, if you're watching this. This was an awesome gift, and I am seriously happy. And it's definitely got me thinking, like, okay, I should probably just go ahead and like wrap up 3DS. There's very few games that I like still quote unquote need for the collection. Now that I have these two, because like I've definitely like had Kirby's Epic Yarn in my cart before on Switch, or Extra Epic Yarn, but or on 3DS, I should say. I'm getting my consoles mixed up, but I just never pulled the trigger. So to have both of these games for Christmas this year definitely makes this a pretty great Christmas. Olivia's always killing it on the gifts. It was last year she ended up getting me Minish Cap complete on GBA, so she knows what to get me. She knows what I want, but also maybe won't impulse purchase as I do so many other things. So yeah, very grateful to get these for Christmas this year, even though like I said, we're a little impatient. We decided to open things a little early, but we're doing other stuff on Christmas Day anyway. It's fine. But that is going to do it for today's pickups video. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, subscribe here for more collecting content, and as always, let me know what you guys have added to your collections in the past couple of weeks here. I know I've been doing a lot of these pickups videos, but it's because frankly I have a spending problem. I'm buying so much stuff, so I think I'll probably have one more of these before the new year. I did post like a 5-hour mega compilation of pickups videos. Definitely put that on while you go to sleep or while you're studying or whatever, if you want to hear me ramble about games more. But that is going to do it. Of course, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, folks, peace.